Unspoken Bros.
Hello?
Hey, dog.
Oh, thank God you called. A potentially paranormal incident that took place here when Tiffany and I got back from running errands yesterday.
So you had a paranormal incident, huh? Awesome. Tell me about it.
Well, okay, I gotta preface it by saying that the last caregiver, Holly, when she was here, we were having a conversation about paranormal because she, according to her, she's very sensitive to stuff like that. She's actually seen things, experienced things, and the way she was describing it, she didn't sound like she was off a rocker or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were actually talking. Well, she was explaining a situation that she recently experienced of a paranormal nature, and there was a loud knock that came from the refrigerator. And we both looked at each other, and we're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
I don't know. So she opened the refrigerator door, thinking maybe something fell over inside. Nothing. Everything was upright like it should be. Now, it's ironic because Tiffany is also apparently sensitive to paranormal stuff. She told me several things that have happened, especially over here in this apartment. Because remember, we had a tenant right across the hall that passed away.
A lot of people have died in there.
Probably, yeah. And the woman that lives over there now, where he used to live, says that she's seen things and heard things. And Justin down the hall, he's heard things and seen things. Tiffany thought she saw a ghost down at one of her other clients down the hall here. So it's just kind of weird because I haven't experienced anything, but it's weird that when it's happened when people that have been here who were sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah.
When Tiffany and I got back from running errands yesterday, I needed some more beer, pick up a 30-pack of beer like we normally do. I had 3 left in the box, so I had the refrigerator door open, taking the 3 cans out of the old box because I didn't have enough room on the bottom shelf, so I put the cans one at a time on the top shelf of the refrigerator. And Tiffany was behind me, and I put 1 can up there on the top shelf, and then can number 2, and then as I was putting can 3 up, we heard coming from the refrigerator. And we both looked at each other like, what the hell? Because it sounded so musical, like a drum roll.
It was probably the refrigerator fan, right? Explain what it sounded like more. I mean, did it sound like metal rattling rhythmically?
Well, oh yeah, I forgot to say, it was the top shelf rattling because she said that she saw stuff that was sitting on top of the top shelf moving.
Ah.
But how can the top shelf grill, you know, that the grill thing, you know, how can that rattle? I mean, it wasn't like a small little, it was like, it was like loud. Yeah, but the motor's not down there. I mean, the motor is like up. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's either 2 things. One, it's just...
I got your correlation, yeah.
Yeah, it's either a mechanical thing, like say it's the belt, the compressor.
Yeah, the fact that it's consistently the refrigerator is really shifting the probability that it's mechanical in the refrigerator. Unless there's a principle where, if you want to speculate, there could be a principle that a ghost, if they exist, could create minor, extremely minor vibrations. They might pick something like a shelf or a motor in a refrigerator because their output is so little, and they usually can't get a good, noise unless there's a huge emotional output. Like maybe the ghosts who can knock on a wall have more emotional energy, for example, stored up that, maybe once, a week they can channel their energy and make a physical manifestation, like knock something off a shelf, but it's real brief, like people experience. And the other thing is just like weird phenomena with mechanical things and lights. And it's like, I almost think like if you're really going to speculate about a ghost, maybe they can create real minor physical effects with stored up energy, in that they something like a shelf on a refrigerator that rattles easy would be something they would want to use, opposed to something that would be difficult to rattle, like a plate in the drying rack, because it's a plate resting with good weight. Whereas if you can rattle something metal, it makes a lot of noise, like a loose fan belt or something. I could see that speculation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards something mechanical, but it was just, but, I mean, that knock, when Holly that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and that's the first time, of course, I've been up and actually can hear things. That's the first time I ever heard it do something like that. And the refrigerator, I never really had any problems with that refrigerator. It's always kept everything cold. There's not been any issues since I've been here, and I've been here since 2009, so. It's just interesting. Like I said, I mean, it was just weird because it was like that. It was loud. It wasn't like a little rinky dink. It was like, and it was just like, what the hell? I mean, it didn't scare me. I was like more like,
yeah. Oh, I could see where that would be, and make you think things that make you go, What?
What? You went quiet again. Skype acting up?
The Skype conversation was cut suddenly short. We resume in our conversation about 2 minutes later.
So yeah, like I wasn't scared by or anything like that. It was just a little, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I mean, I like the correlatives there. I mean, you got some consistencies, which is cool. What I was saying before the ghost cut us off is that you were putting beer cans on the shelf that began rattling, right?
Yep.
Okay, perhaps the weight was being displaced just enough that the vibration that's generally taken by the mass of the refrigerator from the fan and all that stuff and the refrigerator rattles a particular shelf, because it's like the unbalanced entity that takes the vibration that the mass of the refrigerator usually takes. And that happens every once in a while, especially when the fan's running or whatever, and for some reason it just picks up the vibration of the fan in that one spot. And so you were actively putting cans on that shelf, changing the weight of it. So, I mean, that's another correlative there.
Yeah.
And then another thing I was thinking is just like, I've known a lot of people who say that they're sensitive to, they see ghosts, or they're real sensitive to that sort of thing, or a lot of things happen to them. And when you're around them, and you get them talking about it, then, inevitably something happens.
Yeah. I guess it's still too much of a small sampling size, but it was just interesting that the 2 times something like that I really can't explain that has happened, it has occurred with 2 people, 2 females, that both claim to be sensitive to paranormal type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I have never, that I can recall, never experienced anything here in my house by myself with me and Banshee that I go, what the hell just happened? How did that happen? It's never happened, so,
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying about who claim to be sensitive to that sort of thing, and inevitably something happens when you get them talking about it. You're in a certain state when you're talking about them, and the refrigerator makes a noise, or a bird lands on the windowsill and makes a noise, and you're like, oh my god, and it's actually just like normal everyday shit.
Yeah, like it's probably just a compressor or the belt, or it sounded kind of something like something that should be bolted down. Maybe over time the bolt got loose, so it rattles in the chassis. It sounded something kind of like that, but.
Oh sure. I mean, old refrigerators in particular, definitely make noise.
I've been here since 2009. I don't know how long it's been since been there since before I was.
Oh, okay. So that voice makes sense then, because our last Skype call was dropped, and I heard a voice say, "He chopped me and put me in the fridge." That makes sense. Her husband or boyfriend or dad or whoever chopped her up and put her in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And that's why the refrigerator is haunted. That makes sense now. Yeah, that's cool. Just find what she likes and put something in the refrigerator for her.
Like an offering.
Well, like a present, yeah. I mean, you don't have to use like an antiquated word. Yeah, it's my birthday, and you're like, here's your offering. What? You mean my present? My gift? No, it's an offering, actually. Oh, like I'm a minor deity?
I'll buy a steak, come over and just throw it in the refrigerator. There's your offering, Mom.
Well, I mean, maybe she likes Morrissey, you know? Put a little...
Morrissey?
Yeah, man, just grab an old MP3 player and charge it up and put it in there once a day and play Morrissey in refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I wanted to tell you, but I just didn't know when a good time would tell you. My MP3 player, every time I put, like, Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg, they only want to play Morrissey, and Morrissey's not on it.
Oh, I like the Latina, they got the big, full, fat fucking lips. They can wrap it around my cigar. Woo!
I like the Latina ladies. They like to go down and pick up $1 off the floor you drop. I like the Latina ladies. They put their lips around. They put their lips around my. I like the Latina ladies. They like to go down and pick up $1 off the floor you drop. I like the Latina ladies. They put their lips around. They put their lips around my cigar.
Oh my god, it's trivia time! Trivia!
It's trivia time with the Dalai Lama. Welcome to Trivia Time. I am your host, Moonie D, and we're here with Mr. Bryant. This is where we ask you a trivia question. You try to answer it before Mr. Bryant. We'll give you a chance to try to answer before Mr. Bryant here gives his answer. But put your thinking caps on. Why? Because it's trivia time. The question is, name 8 major arcana in the standard tarot deck. Name 8 major arcana in the standard tarot deck, including the Waite tarot deck, the Crowley OTO deck, which is the Thoth deck, I believe. Yeah, the Thoth deck, and so many others. They use the same major arcana formula. Go.
Oh my god, it's trivia time! Trivia!
James, you know what the tarot deck is, right?
Yes, I have one in my coffee table behind me.
Oh God, you do?
Yes.
Are you a sorcerer, James?
On occasions, yes.
Do you speak to demons, James?
On occasions, yes.
On occasions? What occasions is that, James?
Whenever they speak to me.
Whenever they speak to you. Okay, so occasionally?
Yes.
Great. Then you should know this answer well. You should be able to quickly rattle off 10 major arcana in the tarot deck. Go, James.
But to answer your inquiry,
Great.
One of the tarot cards would be the Hanged Man.
Help me!
Correct, James, the Hanged Man.
And number 2 would be Death.
Death is correct.
And number 3 would be the Tower.
Yes, the tower. The tower is being destroyed. The Pope is falling from it. The High Priest tumbles down below. It is a sign of ruin. So far you have the Hanged Man, a man who is hung upside down by one leg. You have Death and the Tower. Yes. Oh, yes.
And the 4th card would be the Priestess.
The what?
Yes.
The what?
Yes.
What kind of priestess?
The High Priestess.
Ooh, blessings, everything! Ooh, blessings upon the line! Oh, love me in despair!
Yes, you are correct. The High Priestess.
Number 5 would be the Tibetan frog.
Incorrect. The Tibetan frog is not one of the major arcana. So far, you have the Hanged Man, Death, the Tower, and the High Priestess. Number 5. What is it? You need 3 more.
In my version, I have the Tibetan frog. Because a lot of people don't realize the Tibetan frog is one of the most rarest frogs in the world. And it's the most poisonous land mammal ever to bite. And when it bites you, you experience all 3 of the before-mentioned arcana. You experience being hanged by your own asphyxiation, and you.
Mr. Bryant, did you say that this frog is a land mammal?
Yes.
Wow, a frog that is a mammal. Interesting. Wow,
Yes.
This is a unique frog indeed. But it is not one of the major arcana of the standard deck.
Well, it's a unique frog because it's a Tibetan.
Yes, it's unique,
frog.
yes. But it's not unique because it's
Yes.
Tibetan. It's unique because it's a mammal,
Yes, it is.
as you've said.
Because Tibet does not have frogs. That's why it's unique.
You want a Tibet? You still need 4 more major arcana.
So we have the Hangman, Death, the Tower, and the High Priestess. I would say number 5 would be... Is it the Wheel of Fortune tarot?
Yes, you are correct. The Wheel of Fortune spinning the axle of fate. Number 5, the Wheel of Fortune.
Number 6 would be a sword.
Incorrect. Shing! A sword is a symbol within the minor arcana, so we will award you 1 honorary point.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then the cup is also a minor arcana. Arcana.
Since you're attempting to exploit my generosity, you will have that honorary point removed.
I don't know, dude. That's all I can think of. I can't think of any others. I know it's pretty bad because I kind of like the tarot, but I never really had a chance to actually see them with my own eyes, so therefore it's kind of hard for me to remember.
But I mean, they're major symbols, so you can kind of just guess in a way, which is kind of fun. They're just kind of symbols that are present. You might associate with, magic in the occult.
How about sun? The sun. Is that sun and the moon?
Correct. You now have 1 more to guess.
Whoa!
Well, I don't. Yeah, there is a moon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So another archetype that is predominant.
Well, just a predominant
I don't
symbol.
know. What's that?
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
It is something that is associated with the occult.
There's something that's associated with an occult.
Just 1 more to guess, man. You're doing really good.
Oh, how about the scales of justice?
Correct. Justice.
Really?
You have won. You have guessed 8 of the major arcana.
Yes!
Justice is one of the cards of the major arcana.
Yes!
Oh my god, it's trivia time! Trivia!
Okay, name this sexual position.
Oh. Hollowed out stepmom.
Hollowed out stepmom?
Yeah.
Oh
There's
my.
a lot of wind going through it. Have you spent time looking in a microscope, like when you're in science lab in school?
Not often.
Dude.
But
I mean, insects alone, if you really look at them with a magnifying glass, they look like fantasy creatures or like prehistoric creatures. They're just so small, we don't think of them that way. It gets even weirder when you look at things under microscopes. You see these like beasts you couldn't even dream up. They're so wicked looking, spikes all around its body, a nozzle nose, and, eyes that look like teardrops, and, a bunch of legs. They have spikes all over it. And
And there's all a rational reason why they are the way they are, because it's either used to gather food, used as to, repel, natural predators that come after them. It's all for a reason, It's not like a hood ornament,
Yeah.
Let's put a weird horn on the back of his anus. What does it do? Oh, nothing. It's just a hood ornament. It just makes it look cool.
Yeah, it's like a part of its mobility or its defense or something, or gathering food. I think it'd be cool to make a Dungeons and Dragons monster manual based on microscopic parasites, because they all look so insane, and give them stats and special abilities and stuff. Oh, that'd be so cool. There's so many seemingly fantasy creatures that have existed at one time, giant sloth. Sloth these days are kind of like a small chimp. They have big arms with hooks on the end and really tiny hind legs, round, cute heads, kind of soft and fuzzy, and they move super slow. But at one time, there was a giant sloth that kind of walked on the edge of its feet and had big sort of hook hands and ate from trees and towered over the common man.
Yeah, they actually, I think I told you about that. What they have found, what they believe is the remnants of a giant sloth in Colorado.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Over a lake that had been frozen over, and it was like, wow.
That's cool.
That is, yeah.
That's so cool.
From the vaults.
There's a ghost in my mind. There's a ghost in my mind. There's a ghost in my mind, and I can't get rid of it. There's a ghost in my mind. There's a ghost in my mind. There's a ghost in my mind, and I can't get rid of it. Fucking me, fucking this fire. There's a ghost in my mind, and I can't get rid of it.
Spoken.